One. Good evening. Welcome to the live, everybody. Hey, what's up? We're gonna get right into it today. How's everybody's evening going? Let me tell you. I asked you guys to submit some questions, and it was crazy. I mean, like, I couldn't believe some of the things that people were asking about, but that's why we're here, so we could chat and talk about these things and see what's going on. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe. Okay? Click down there, subscribe. All right? And you can also see me on Facebook. Tags are in there. Okay? Let me get right to it because I've been hearing a lot of things going on. And people always think they have the answers. I don't even have all the answers. Okay? I don't. So it was just a lot of questions. Okay, so I was asking everyone to just send me their deepest problems, right? And I'm not gonna lie. Some of it was kind of wild, you know? Just give me a second. Let me get right to the messages that I received from you guys. And if you want to send in your own messages, go to queenshowtimefans@gmail.com, okay? And you can submit anything and I'll respond to it right here on live. Okay, guys? So let me get right into it and see. What do we have here? Okay. Like, seriously, I wasn't expecting a lot of these, but let's get into it. All right? Okay. The first one, right? Someone said, I feel like nobody actually cares about me. They just tolerate me. Oh, wow. I have to tell you, that's a heavy one, okay? Feeling like nobody cares about you. That's heavy, but we have to think about it like this, all right? Because when you feel like that, people, it's not really anything that you really think it is, okay? Sometimes, the life will feel kind of quiet. You feel like nobody notices you, like you're not there. And people have a lot of things that they might be dealing with, and often we'll just be like losing track of everything going on. Like sometimes, let me tell you, sometimes it's not that nobody cares, okay? Sometimes it's that the people around you, they're just not able to show it, or they haven't showed it. But you have to meet people where they are, what they're comfortable with. And so people will show that they care in ways that you probably didn't even notice. But we all matter, okay, guys? We all matter. And let me tell you one thing. Get close in here, okay? Because I'm looking at everything going on right now. But let me tell you guys one thing, all right? After a while, when you feel like you're not connecting with people, it's going to start to mess with your head. So you have to start thinking about it, like, is it that nobody cares? Or maybe I'm not noticing what I already have. you know? And even if nobody cares, the one person that needs to care is you. You need to care. Once you care, it's going to open up for everybody else to care. Trust and believe. Sometimes people will not see the greatness in you. People will not be there when you're in pain. People will not be there when you have like chaos going in your world. You could tell them and they wouldn't even hear you. They might not even hear you, you know? So it could be anything like that. And you're just like thinking like, is anybody there for you? You have to be there for you. Because when it comes down to it, when everything hits the fan, who's going to pull you out? You're going to reach your hand out or you're going to grab a rope? You know, sometimes we can't just always depend on other people. You know, we have to start focusing on ourselves, you know? They just tolerate you. And the reality is you're probably just one of the greatest people in the world. Just, you know, you got to keep on pushing through. You shouldn't have to question your place in people's lives. You know? All right. Guys, let's see. Cat. Let's just bring her in. Cutie kitty. Let's read these together, Cat. All right? All right. I don't want to mess with the phone. All right. This one next. All right. This one says, I keep going back to someone who treats me badly, and I don't know why. I've been there. You know, I've been there before. Okay? Yeah, I had to put this stuff together. You know, I've been there before. Sometimes you feel like nobody even cares. Nobody cares about you. And then all of a sudden you start dating someone that really doesn't care. All right? That's crazy because it's like you keep going back to someone and they treating you like crap. It's something they're clinging you to. Are you guys having a good time? I mean, like, sometimes that's what it is. It's like you have one thing good going, but the other part is like, you know. Sometimes the guy is good at taking the girl out to dinner, and out to a good time, a date, and all types of fun stuff. But then when it comes to the intimate part, intimacy, oh, not so much. You know, you know. I'm going to be real with you, okay? When it comes to going back to someone who treats you like crap, I'll tell you this. That's more common than people think. It's more common than people think. You know, a lot of times that's when they say like, oh, they settled. They settled. You know, you got to think all the time when you make your decisions in life, it's when it comes to relationships, if you're settling and if it's worth it. You really have to think about that. Is it worth it? Because it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. You know, a lot of time it's not even about them. It's about what you're used to. You know, if you're used to consistency, you know, chasing, you know what I'm saying, and you're feeling like a little unsure, your brain is just going to start to think that that's normal. Your brain's going to think it's normal, and it's not normal, okay? So when when something is actually healthy, when the relationship is really healthy, I'm telling you, you're going to just start feeling bored. You know, it's going to be boring to you. That's what happens. You know? So let's get to the third question. All right. This one, how do I stop overthinking everything? It's actually ruining my life. You know? How do I stop overthinking? It's actually ruining my life. Okay, because it starts as small, you know. Then suddenly you start analyzing everything. That's true. You overthinking everything. I live in New York City. We overthink things all day long. All day long. You know? It starts as like the little small thing, like I'm trying to tell you guys. It starts small. You think like, it's no big deal. And then it starts weighing down on you. And then more things come. And that weighs down on you even more. You know? Then suddenly you're like trying to be super strategic. You're trying to be super strategic to like make sure everything is like going as planned. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what's going to happen. You know? You have to like take a deep breath. Okay? Just relax. Like you don't have to like worry about, you're going to stress yourself out worrying about every single detail. You're going to get yourself some gray hairs early doing things like that. You know, so try not to overthink things. You can use things to clear your mind. Like if you're overthinking something, write down what you can do to change that, and then put on like some meditation music or some jazz, some instrumental, not something that, put on something like take your mind off of it. That's what you need to do. Sometimes we have to take our mind off things. Even the most famous people in the world who have to take care of millions and billion-dollar companies. Sometimes they have to go golfing. They have to take their mind off of things. You can't just have it on your mind all day. I'm telling you, it's not good for your health. You'd be surprised how much stress affects your health, your overall health. Everything is going to start working differently. It kind of goes with the thought shapes matter method, okay? Because sometimes it's like this. Thought shapes matter, and what you think, you bring into reality. So try not to think of things too negatively, and then you won't be overthinking it because you're going to think of it, you're going to end up with a positive result. Okay? So, at the end of the day, you're creating problems that weren't even there. Then when it appears, it's like people are shocked, but you kind of plan for it. So try not to overthink things. I know we want things to be perfect. Life isn't always perfect. We want things to be perfect. We want to, be strategic. We want to be safe. You just have to know to do things in moderation, know when it's enough and when it's too much. So yeah, like let me think of the most extreme situation. Yeah, just like totally, like if you're in a parking lot at night, have your phone out, maybe on, and with location for like letting people know I'm coming to the parking lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could be on, really strategically moving through that parking lot. But when you're in a store, don't act like you're about to get robbed, or the cannon's gonna fall on your head, or somebody's gonna yell at you, or they're gonna treat you like some thief or something like that. Just try to think positively about things. Like maybe everybody's like trying to be like normal in this world, but like of course, be safe, because I'm telling you, I'm a New Yorker, okay? And in New York, we don't play none of those games. We're not going down no dark alley. But see, like, that's a situation where you have to be like overthinking. Yeah, I should start overthinking right now, because what if something happens to me? What if something happens to me when I go out there? You know, what if I get hurt? I'm going down a hill. I'm roller skating. Should I be overthinking it? Yes, overthinking. You're about to roller skate down the hill. Knee pads, check. Helmet, check. Right? But if you're just like, like, I don't know, like going down a sliding board or something,